family is daily Vikings entertainment. We just want the Vikings to win a Super Bowl before we die.
I will ride with this group.
Seriously, man. Please.
And away we go.
All right, boys.
Write this down.
It's another Write That Down Wednesday here on Purple Daily. And I guess we haven't really explained this in the last couple weeks for the YouTube audience, but Judd, because there's construction happening just outside his home studio, he has taken residence in the old 1500 ESPN side studio that really, it's like a 30-year-old studio that we are tricking up for the sports dad to do YouTube content on. So I've got that out the hard way on Judd's hockey show today.
Yes, we did. Thank God it was not live. I do have a quick complaint though. So my street, like I literally both sides of my street say no parking. They came and did something to the sidewalks like last week. They have not done anything since. So we can't park there. It's marked up like they're going to tear it up and they're doing nothing. But I know the day that I stay home, right? I'm like, screw it, stay home. What's going to happen? Man. They're going to start to tear the street up and the dogs are going to go crazy. And so like I'm stuck in this. I could have stayed home and they probably don't do a thing, but I don't trust them.
So you've got broken streets, broken sidewalks, broken offensive line.
Sounds like a Springsteen song.
It's
I got broken streets, broken sidewalks.
Early 80s Springsteen.
Brian O'Neill's hurt.
So AJ's in for Declan today.
Write this down.
AJ, we're trying to decide, is AJ the Justin School to Declan's Brian O'Neill or something or something better?
Whoa,
or something
wow.
We will find out in the accountability session coming up here.
Have a job at the end of the week?
Well, no, we're keeping track of your statistics from last week.
Of all the people you could have chosen, like the back, I mean, he could be like a future all-star.
He could be the Case Keenum to who got hurt? Bradford got hurt, right? Like 9 years ago.
It's okay. I got to earn my keep. I'll work my way up from school. I got to earn it. I get it.
I mean, the accountability session will speak for itself here momentarily from last week's predictions. And also the quarterback cesspool challenge where AJ made it known. I would have gone with this guy. Declan overruled me on this. We'll see which one of you was correct later in the show.
I was given an envelope this week.
Oh, gosh.
What a controlling.
I haven't opened it.
You haven't even opened it. This is great.
No, I was told don't open it until the segment. So we'll see what's in there.
So
Write this down.
We'll get to all of it. Write that down Wednesday here. Powered by North American Banking Company, based in Minnesota since 1998. And much like a lot of Vikings fans became fans in 1998. So there's some synergy there. 6 locations across the Twin Cities. And North American Banking Company is here to give you a more personal banking experience, a better banking experience, cutting-edge online tools, and human relationships. Shocking, I know, in 2025. But they'll also make it really easy to switch from wherever your current bank is if you're not satisfied. Go to nabankco.com/Mackey. That's nabankco.com/Mackey. Member FDIC, equal housing lender.
Write it down. You like writing things down.
All right. Did I share this? No, I got to share this real quick here. By the way, big news, and we can touch on it later. ESPN tore apart their Get Up show for 2 segments for the huge breaking NFL news that 40-year-old Joe Flacco has been benched for this weekend's game against the Vikings for rookie Dillon Gabriel.
Whoa.
2 segments, literally 2 segments on. I think it was mostly why isn't Shedeur Sanders elevated, right?
I was just going to say, if this was anyone who didn't have Shedeur, it would have gotten a mention. They would have talked about it. 2 seconds. Incredible.
Oh, hey,
would you have waited an extra week to throw a rookie at this Brian Flores defense? I mean, Aaron Rodgers carved it, but he's 41 and has seen a bunch of looks. I just feel like this is overseas Dillon Gabriel against Brian Flores. I don't know, man.
They lost to who? The Lions last week?
Yeah.
They got
Joe Flacco is so cooked, it's not even funny.
Yeah, it's just kind of a desperate move here. So, all right, I'll pop this up here for the YouTube audience. You can see this. For the audio audience, we will guide you through. But write that down. Every week consists of 3 Vikings or football-related predictions from everybody on the show. We keep track of completion percentage and touchdowns. And listeners, if you want to be like Mike, who's actually going to join us from London, from an Airbnb in London, you can participate by sending Declan a message through the Score North app, and we'll get you scheduled for some time down the road. So, all right, let's start with Judd. You had 4 things come off the board.
Oh, it's a bad beat. First one's a bad beat.
You said Coy Parrish will have an interception and or return of some kind for a touchdown, including punt returns.
Mm-hmm. He did almost house a punt return.
Yep. He's got some wiggle to him. He's got some burst, but not enough to score a touchdown against Rutgers.
Nope.
That was a nice comeback, though. Down 14 rip early. Collect yourselves. You said Jordan Addison will catch a touchdown against the Steelers in his first game back from suspension. Another bad beat. He somehow didn't score on that play.
I don't want to talk about that. Yeah. I'm not commenting. I'm so upset about that.
That's like the only time where a questionable 40-yard dash time comes into play in the NFL, which he kind of did. His 40, he wasn't like a blazer coming out of college.
No.
Right?
It felt like there was also a lack of, not a lack of effort, but a lack of want to. How about that?
Why didn't he? Well, they probably don't have the big jumbo. Well, they don't have a play clock, so they probably don't have the jumbotron at the 1880 stadium.
Yeah, I'm done with
you can
Cook
look
Park.
up on and see, right?
No more games. If you can't have a freaking play clock and game clock where it should be, you don't get any more games.
You said the Vikings will win both Europe games. And then this one should have come off the board a month ago. You said the Browns will trade Kenny Pickett at some point in 2025.
Not great. Not great. Not great. I feel like that should have been 3 of 4 coming to fruition for me.
Couple good processes, bad results here for you.
It's not my year. It's not my year.
I said somebody else will Van Ginkel Rodgers in that game. Nope. I would say that Rodgers the Vikings with his little quick game passes. And then I said the Vikings would start 4-1 or 5-0 in the first 5 games of the season. Positive Phil taking the L on that one. Listeners, including AJ here, you had one come off. That was yours, right? Yeah, that's the right AJ. Because there's an Adrian on here, which is your real name. And I was trying to remember if I put your real name or your abbreviated name. But
which would be funny because I don't think you've ever called me. Like
well,
that.
but like your name, your Adrian is what pops up on like email and like our Teams chats and stuff.
Yeah.
And so, Crybaby Craig said Vikings would beat the Steelers and hold them under 100 yards of total offense. Nope. Then AJ said there'd be some type of graphic or reference on the broadcast to Carson Wentz being depicted or joked about as a leprechaun. I don't think that happened.
No, I feel like I would have got. I got a couple people like saying I'm looking out for it, but nobody brought the receipt of, hey, this actually happened.
Yeah, which somebody would have with that type of prediction. Adrian said in the Vikings' first 5 games, they will win by 10 or more points in at least 3 of them. That's now impossible. They have 1, but there's only 1 game left. Waleed said, this is the rare parlay that comes off the board before it even has a chance here. Because he had the first leg of Waleed's parlay was the Vikings would beat the Browns. But the second leg was they'll be 4-1 after the win. And then he had TJ Hawkinson catching a touchdown in that game against the Browns. So irrelevant. Crybaby Craig said Carson Wentz will have at least 2 passing touchdowns. Nice little fourth quarter rally for that one. And then Camden, we're going to give Camden a touchdown on this one. Camden said Russell Wilson will start the season as the Giants' week 1 quarterback. So they had like a 3-headed battle there in training camp. So he gets that leg. And then said, but Jackson Dart will be the starter by week 10. So nice job, Camden.
Nice. Good work.
And then old Dex tweets 0 for 4 for him. He said Jonathan Grenard would get credit for at least a sack and a half against the Steelers.
1 sack right now, I believe. 1 sack.
For the season, yeah.
Yeah.
Pretty bad. Carson Wentz would connect with Jordan Addison for a touchdown of at least 25 yards. Oh, dude.
As bad a beat as mine.
That's about because he put the at least 25 yards thing. Vikings would win by 6 or more. And Ty Felton would secure a touchdown in the first 3 games of the season.
1 catch, right?
Yeah, and it was from Max Brosmer
in
garbage time, right?
Yep.
So he's been nice third round pick with some upside, but has not made an impact yet. So to date, the season runs from Super Bowl to Super Bowl, so there's still a few months left here. I'm at 47.9% completions. Listeners 35.3, Declan 34.5, Judd 34.3%. Declan and I each have 8 touchdowns. Judd was 7, listeners was 6. So the touchdown battle is wide open. See if I can hang on to this completion percentage lead. And then all-time stats going back to 2021, Declan 36.5% completions. I'm just over 35%, Judd 34.5%, listeners just a tick under 25. Listeners did tie me with 66 career touchdowns, dating back again to 2021. So there's the accountability session. Let's get, I think I can do this here, Age, without crashing the plane. Can we get our guy Mike D in the mix? There you go.
There he is.
Mike D from London right now.
Hey, boys.
So tell us about your Airbnb. Beautiful chandelier behind your head.
Classy.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I made sure that we had a chandelier here just exactly for this show. So it's nice and classy.
Yeah. Is that one of the boxes you can check? Like, I want a house to myself, I want a pool, and I want a chandelier in the dining room area.
Yeah, it's like where you add the special notes. You just write in there, I need a fancy chandelier.
Yes.
I'm trying to look fancy.
What people don't know is that chandelier is actually a prop. It does not work. Because you said what I need is for the show, I need something that looks good, that classes the show up. But I don't need it to work. That thing hasn't worked in probably, in jolly old England, 75 years. That thing's probably just been out for 75 years.
Yeah, how old is that house?
I actually don't know how old it is, but it's definitely older than I'm used to in Canada. So
We're in Canada.
Give us your background then as a Viking. So Canada, and give us your Vikings fan background.
So you guys had a guy on Write This Down 3 weeks ago. His name was Alex. He's from Toronto.
Yeah.
Same background story. I'm actually from Alberta in Canada, but my dad got me on the Vikings in the early 2000s, and I've been pretty much hooked ever since. He was from Winnipeg, so lots of Minnesota games that he picked up on, and naturally became a Vikings fan. So
That's awesome, man.
yeah.
What jersey are you rocking there?
So it might be the most random one you guys have seen. It's actually a Jeff Dugan jersey.
Oh,
whoa!
Let's go.
I covered him. That's awesome. Why?
Well, my last name's Dugan, and my uncle's name, he played in the CFL at one point. His last name was Dugan as well, and his first name was Jeff. So,
oh, nice.
That's
I got
amazing.
this back in 2004. So
that man could throw a block. Dukes could throw a block. Dukes could knock you on your ass if he had to.
For sure, he did it to that one ref that one time. It was awesome.
I forgot.
Did you have to get that custom made, or do Jeff Dugan jerseys exist from like the early 2000s?
I had to get a custom made as soon as I saw that he was drafted. I had to get his jersey, so I've been rocking it ever since.
We got to get that signed. We got to get that signed by.
Where's Dukes now?
Jeff Dugan, man. Let's
we know?
Google him real quick. Think he's on social?
He did not.
Think Jeff Dugan's on TikTok.
Jeff Dugan never struck me as the guy that was going to adapt into the social media phase of life, but that's just a personal opinion from having covered him. He was an understated guy.
Yeah, he does have a Wikipedia page. I mean, most NFL players at least have a Wikipedia page.
Okay.
There's like one sentence of his personal section, because he was waived by the Vikings in 2011, and attending classes during the offseason of his football career, he obtained an MBA from Northwestern's Kellogg School of Management. But that's like the last known note on Jeff Dugan on the internet is from 15 years ago. You might be wearing, in the many years that we have been doing this show and segment, that might be the most like random one. Like we've had some random ones before, but I got to be honest, and if you had told me pick a jersey you haven't seen yet, like a random one, I would never have said in a million years Jeff Dugan. So congratulations. I think you win that award. That's pretty amazing.
Thank you. I was actually hoping for that. So I'm
you
glad
got
to
it.
hear it.
Yeah. Yeah, and I let it be a lesson to anyone else who joins in the future. The more random the jersey you can wear here, the higher regard you are going to be held in as a guest listener predictor. So, Mike, we're going to start with you. Then we'll go to Judd. AJ will make predictions, and then I'll round it out here. We'll make 3 trips around the room. So if you're ready, Mike,
Write this down.
Absolutely.
Let's do
All right, boys. Write this down. First prediction, I'm saying that there's going to be 6 teams that might make the playoffs from only 2 divisions. So I'm thinking it's either going to be the NFC North. We're going to see 3 teams sneak in there. And then on the AFC side, maybe the AFC North or the AFC West.
Okay. So the prediction for quantifying here is 2 different divisions will send 3 playoff teams.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And it has to be from different conferences because mathematically there's only 3 wildcard teams, so it has to be
Correct.
AFC. Yeah. Well, I mean, right now the NFC West is easily depends on what the Vikings do out of the bye, I guess, to play catch up here, but. And then
they
the
got
AFC
3-1 teams, so they're looking good too. So
they're in a good spot.
Write this down.
All right, Judd.
All right, I'm going back to the receiver touchdown but I'm going to not go with Jordan because if you can't get in when you've got a running start from where Addison was on Sunday, I've lost faith in you. I'm going with Justin Jefferson. Justin Jefferson will catch a touchdown pass against the Browns this Sunday.
All right. Yeah, he was. If you want,
One
by
of
the way,
season.
Trenches was Alex Boone was so good breaking down, and it was mostly how to fix the crappy offensive line being the theme. I don't know what other theme you could pull from the offensive performance last week, but we looked at a bunch of the pressures and sacks, and Justin Jefferson's frustration on one of them in particular was palpable. I can maybe later on, if you want me to show you that play here, I do have it available to pull up maybe after we get done with predictions, but it's
Sure.
Write this down.
Interesting. All right, Age.
All right. My first one, I mean, you already made the Justin School reference. We saw how bad, and it's been a topic on PD, I think, to the start of the week, how bad the O-line has been and how banged up they are. A guy that's been on a tear is Myles Garrett. Write this down. Myles Garrett will record at least 1.5 sacks against the Vikings this Sunday. If it's a home run, I'd bump that up to 2. I might even just do that for laughs.
I'd say 5. Home run is 5 at this rate.
And it would not be a touchdown on this show, but I think like based on how great he is and how ravaged the offensive line is, I think if you said 3, that's a touchdown.
Perfect. Let's go 3. Myles Garrett will record 3 sacks this Sunday.
Let's go 4.
Hey, why not? What's the record for a game?
Sack game. That's a good question.
What is the record? Is it 6? Derek Thomas?
I'll look that up, guys. Hold on a second. I will look that up. You keep going.
Okay. I'll make my prediction here. Write this down.
Write this down.
I think here comes positive Phil skipping into the room.
7 sacks.
7?
Derek Thomas, Phil. Good call.
He had 6 or he had 7? 7?
7.
That's old.
November
That's
11th, 1990.
1990. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Old Kansas City Chiefs.
Write this down.
I think, write this down, the Vikings are going to win their next 2 games. They're going to beat the Browns. They're going to get a little more right during self-scout bye week. And the Philadelphia Eagles, who are due for some regression based on their current process, which is struggling to run the ball like they did last year, struggling to pass the ball, period, like they do every year. The Eagles actually have, I know I'm looking 3 weeks ahead here, but it's the second game in this leg here. The Eagles have the 3rd worst net yards per play in the league. So they've been getting outgained more yards per play than almost every team in the NFL, but they're finding these ways because they got enough good players to just win close. So I think, methinks, they're going to step into a little trap at US Bank Stadium in a few weeks. I think back-to-back wins for the Vikings to get people feeling good.
This might sound like a bizarre question, but are the Eagles and it feels like we've had a team like this for the last 3 or 4 or 5 years. There's always a team that they're good and their record is great, but then you sort of look at the process and you're like, it's really, really flawed. And then they get to the playoffs and get knocked off or something like that.
Well, you wouldn't think of any close to home examples of that the last few years.
You know what I'm
the
thinking of?
2022 Vikings are a prime example.
I'm thinking of the Cowboys about 5 years ago. The Steelers then had this unbelievable year where they were undefeated for a significant amount of time, but you watched them and you're like, that doesn't look that sustainable, and then it wasn't. Yeah. And the Chiefs made the Super Bowl, but last year's Chiefs were not exactly without flaws, and their record was still great. So,
and I think teams like the Chiefs and even the Eagles, when you won the Super Bowl the year before, and then the next year there's a little regression, but you're still finding ways to win, that's a lot less fluky than some of the other teams that, like the 2022 Vikings in retrospect, with their defense being terrible. So I think there is still, if you're the Eagles and instead of blowing teams out, you're just in close games and you're finding some ways to win those close games. All right, I buy that a little bit. You can get away with some bad process and win close games because you've done it before. But I think everyone is kind of selling their Vikings stock and panicking and freaking out. But it's a long season. Kevin O'Connell has proven to be a really good culture building and even schematic head coach. So
write this down.
Let's take a deep breath. Okay, Mike, back to London.
All right, so actually, Phil, we had a very similar prediction there. So I'm just going to up the ante on mine. And I'm going to say that the Vikings will hand the Eagles their first loss, but I'm going to say it's by 2 scores.
Oh,
yeah.
Wow. So this is from a bunch of angles a touchdown here, because the Eagles have to win their next 2 games against Denver and at a feisty Giants team now with Jackson Dart, just to keep this alive going into that Vikings game, and then the 2-score victory. It's like a 4-leg parlay.
Yeah, I think Denver's going to beat up on them a little bit. I think they're going to be pretty feisty after that game against the Bengals. So,
love it, dude. Love
write this down.
Mike just taking swings.
And AJ Brown is going to just go ballistic, just melt down post game, because he's already like teetering. He's like tweeting sort of odd things so far. So like it's just going to take. He's on the edge of the cliff. Just needs the Vikings to push him right off the cliff.
Yeah.
What was the book he read on the sideline last year? Like mid game, it was like a self-help, like how to control your emotions book.
Yeah. And then that author, that book like skyrocketed, because I think that book is 20 years old or something.
Yeah.
And it's skyrocketed up the bestseller charts. And then that author was doing like an interview tour. Can you imagine being that author? You're one of a million people who've written a self-help book.
Yeah.
And he wakes up the next morning and his publicist from 10 years ago is like, Bob, I got ABC. I got the Today Show. What?
You got to get on the road.
Write this down.
All right, Judd, we're back to you.
All right, I think the Vikings are going to, much like they did against the Bengals, I think they're going to rebound really strongly on Sunday when it comes to stopping the run. So the Falcons game was a disaster. The Bengals did not have a great run game, and the Vikings were really good against it. Steelers game was bad, and now the Browns come in without a great run game as well, and they're going to have to, with Gabriel starting, run the ball a bit. So the Vikings will hold the Browns to 90 or fewer yards rushing on Sunday.
Okay.
So 90 or fewer. And of course, the Falcons game and the Steelers game, both those teams went over 100. So 90 or fewer yards for the Browns on the ground.
I would beware of Quinshon Judkins. So Ohio State had 2 stud running backs in the draft, and he was the second one drafted, I think, because he was the 36th pick. And there was some off the field stuff there, and he didn't sign his contract until like into training camp.
Yeah.
So he didn't play in week 1, but the last 3 weeks, so he's played 3 weeks, and Quinshon Judkins has 94 yards, 82 yards, a tud. I mean, he's averaging 5 yards a carry, 80 yards a game. So they got a guy. Mm-hmm. They got a guy, if you're not careful.
I'm challenging my guys, though.
That's fair.
Hargrave, Allen, let's see it. Let's see a little bit more here. You were brought in large part to stop the damn run. Let's stop the run. Let's get away from the fish and chips. Let's get away from the ales, and let's do our damn job and go home. I'm so tired of these. Oh, well, we're going to go out sightsee. The guys went and why are you sightseeing?
What are you supposed to do on like Monday?
Watch film. You're not
going to watch film for 15 hours.
You should have to.
They can't go to a restaurant and get food.
Yeah, a restaurant to get food, but I don't want to. But on Tuesday, it's like, yeah, all the guys had their day off. You know what? If I was a captain of that team, I would say, fun time is over. Over. We are going to self-reflect. No one's going to have fun. I told you after Sunday, families, you're all going home. After the Pittsburgh game, I would have sent everyone home and said, we are going to fix this. I don't care if we're playing on Mars. We're going to fix this.
Well, that'd be a travel budget there. Get that team to Mars.
Don't give Roger any ideas.
Oh, they're going to Mars. They're going to Mars.
Amazon Prime presents the first ever.
Coming up next.
It's the SpaceX Bible on Mars.
From Pluto.
Collinsworth is floating upside down in a spacesuit. Hey, Mike, here's the guy.
The Collinsworth slide-in would be...
The slide-in, he would just go off to
But yeah, he just drifts past the screen.
Although this weekend we get our guys. We get Jonathan Vilma and we get Kenny Albert.
Your guy.
Kenny Albert, that's right. It's the Vikings and the Browns. Up next from London. Ah!
I wonder how his act will go over there too. Like he seems
his act.
His act. Like if he does a Bears Vikings game in Chicago, Kenny Albert's act works. But like it's like, who is this American who's sort of like yelling about football all the time?
He's just repeating the matchup over and over. Why does he keep saying it's the Vikings and the Browns on Fox?
Next up is Liverpool and Manchester. Yo, stop yelling.
Does he need medical attention? Why is his face that red? Why is he always profusely sweating?
Oh,
is he okay?
I think we're on AJ. I think we are on AJ.
Yeah,
we are.
And I'm going to pick up the ball and finish the job that Judd and Declan weren't able to do last week. I think Kevin O'Connell strikes me as a guy that like, oh, Jordan, you got real close and you almost did it. So we're going to get you in the end zone this week. Jordan Addison will score a touchdown against the Browns this Sunday.
Yeah, when Judd said that off the top, I didn't originally have that earmarked as a prediction, but I was going to step in with that prediction too, the slander,
Write this down.
the Jordan Addison slander. All right, write this down. I know that Positive Phil just told you that the Vikings were going to beat the Browns and the Eagles in their next two games, but write this down. If that's going to happen, they're going to have to do it without Ryan Kelly and Brian O'Neill. So my prediction is, write this down, Ryan Kelly and Brian O'Neill will miss at least the Browns and Eagles games. And then we'll see what happens after that. The Kelly thing scares me a lot just because that's 5 concussions. It's a short span between concussions. I mean, he's also like, think about him. He's 32 years old. He's made $80 million playing football. It's kind of reevaluation time with your family. So I'm sure he's going through a lot of conversations right now.
There's also no word on him at all. Like it's like, hey, we're confident that Brian might be back, blah, 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 right? You are being told nothing, which is very concerning.
It's very interesting. Yeah. Okay. Back to Mike in London for his third and final prediction.
All right. So just in the spirit of being at the game here in London, I'm going to make my last prediction for this specific game. I'm going to say Jordan Mason. He's going to run for over 100 yards. And I think that he's going to go over 40 yards in the passing game.
Wow.
And I think he's going to go off for 1 touchdown as well.
Wow. Okay. So all of those things, at least 100 on the ground, at least 40 catching passes, and at least a touchdown.
Yeah.
Love it. Kind of feels like they should, not that they should be stat hunting for Jordan Mason, but that like game flow wise, if you're looking to avoid Myles Garrett sacking Carson Wentz 100 times, just like take the fight. That's what Booney was saying at the end of the Trenches episode that dropped this morning. I said, what would you do knowing the current state of the offensive line? He said 2 things. 1, quick. Number 2, I'd run the ball a lot. But number 3, most importantly, he said he would take the fight to Myles Garrett instead of like scheming away from him. He'd be running tight end, running back chips, and in the run plays, he would design specific plays that are like it looks like a zone left run, but there's a tight end pulling across the other side. Why hide is the name of the play that he detailed. And you're cracking Myles Garrett, basically without you're cutting him, you're cracking him without him seeing it coming. Just do it for 3 hours and tell him, hey, we're gonna make your life hell today. So maybe Jordan Macy can help with that. But Mike, good stuff, man. Coming from 7 hours away here. Since you've got this life altering platform here today, is there anyone you'd like to thank or shout out in your life?
Yeah, I'd like to shout out my pops first of all for getting me onto the Vikings back in right after that '98 season. So thankful that it wasn't before the '98 season. But yeah, I'd like to thank him. He's a huge Vikings fan, so we're always able to talk about the games and whatnot. I'd also like to shout out my wife as well, who's actually a diehard Bears fan.
Ooh.
But she's going to be rocking a Minnesota Vikings jersey this Sunday. So, yeah, I'd like to shout her out as well. So,
Love it, man.
Is she sitting just off camera pointing like, hey?
she is. Yes, she is.
You
100%.
better mention me or this trip's over.
Say something nice
Shooting
about Caleb
daggers.
Williams, or you're being kicked out of this Airbnb, or I'll drop
Yeah.
the chandelier on your head.
Yeah.
Mike, hey, awesome stuff, man. Hopefully we can do it again sometime and have a good time in London this week, dude.
Appreciate it, guys. Go Vikes.
All right, there he is, Mike.
Thank you.
Rocking the Jeff Dugan threads. The only man in America rocking a Jeff Dugan jersey.
By the way, Mike had some pythons, man. Those were Mike. Those are some serious arms that Mike had. Mike, you know what Mike could do? He should volunteer. Go to O'Connell today. Volunteer. Say, I will play offensive line.
Actually, yeah, they could use you, Mike, at like right tackle if things go right. As the superstar Mike Morris used to tell us, a guy like Mike with those biceps could pop your head like a pimple. Watch out.
I like that. Myles Garrett's head.
No, maybe that's what they need.
Boone, chip him, crack him. In fact,
Brass knuckles.
Just try to hurt him in the first quarter, and then he won't play anymore. It'll be fine.
No,
We'll
he
be
did
even.
make it clear that like everything he is suggesting is within the rules of NFL football, but
High low.
we're not high-lowing. No,
I'm suggesting. I'm suggesting.
you're crossing a line. Why don't you talk about MSP plumbing, heating, and air conditioning before
I'd
you
love
get
to.
us in trouble?
I would love to. And guess what, folks? I know it's been warm outside, but this October, MSP Plumbing, Heating, and Air is here to ensure your home stays warm and comfortable all season long. Trust the experts in plumbing, heating, and air. MSP is your local carrier dealer, delivering quality and reliability. And October is the perfect time to get your HVAC system checked before the cold hits. Schedule a tune-up now to help prevent unexpected breakdowns. When it does get cold outside, a quick inspection, it can identify minor issues before they turn into costly repairs. When you choose Carrier, you're investing in a system that keeps your home comfortable and saves you money on energy bills as well. So check out MSP at their website, call MSP.com, or give them a call at 651-615-4292 to learn more about their services and also Carrier's outstanding products.
Hey, this weekend, Viking Fest Minnesota comes to the Twin Cities, a bold new celebration of Viking heritage, Norse mythology, living history. This is the largest Vikings festival in the country, and it's 2 immersive weekends, October 4th and 5th, and the 11th and 12th at the Dakota County Fairgrounds. You can find ticket information at vikingfest.com, but you'll be able to see, among other things, a historic Viking encampment, Viking combat and live weapons demonstrations. You can forge your own Viking gear. There's 5 stages of music, comedy, theater. Great for family. There's family-friendly areas and adult-only areas. That's vikingfest.com, Viking Fest, Minnesota, October 4th and 5th and 11th and 12th. What the old school Vikings from the year 700 could have used is a good dentist. You ever seen like a Viking from back in the day in drawings with like good teeth, big pearly whites? No, because they didn't have any Park Dentals around back in the day. But you do. You're lucky, you guys. You guys are lucky that Park Dental has been caring for and cleaning teeth in the Twin Cities for over 50 years. Twin Cities, Western Wisconsin, and there's likely a Park Dental location within just minutes of wherever you work or live. And most practices are open at 7 a.m. for pre-work checkups, and many are open until 8 p.m. at least one night a week. So check them out and schedule your checkup at parkdental.com. That's parkdental.com. That's me right there for the YouTube audience, just happily going about my business. Had an appointment last week. No cavities. Guy. Very exciting.
Nice.
Judd,
Very
Write
nice.
this down.
what's your third and final prediction?
All right, my third and final prediction. I'm going to go outside the scope of the Vikings and give you an NFL prediction, and it's this: the Titans will fire Brian Callahan before the end of the regular season. I don't think it's going to work. I know that Cam Ward is a rookie, but they're getting their ass kicked, and it's sort of a mess. And I don't think it's not like, okay, second-year coach, quarterback developing, and we see a lot of good things. It sounds like it's just a circus. So he's going to be fired before the end of the regular season.
I am not questioning your prediction at all because I think you might be right, but I am questioning teams that do this. There's every year, the Bears do this all the time where, okay, you've got a coach that you're not totally in love with and your franchise is toiling and you've decided to draft a quarterback in like the top 5. You've decided to draft Mitch Trubisky or Caleb Williams or Cam Ward or Jackson Dart. It's happening right now. Brian Daboll's probably going to get fired unless they absolutely go on a tear here. Or you keep the lame duck coach around for a year, and predictably it doesn't go well because the team is still pretty bad, and then you bail on that coach and bring in a whole new coaching staff and system. It's like you wasted the entire rookie season. Correct. Just marry the two. Okay, you should be deciding in like February. All right, we know where we're drafting. We have an idea based on our scouting of the college football season. We're probably going to draft a quarterback, number 1, number 2, number 3. Go get a coach that you would want to develop that quarterback instead of waiting a year. Isn't that like, so Cam Ward just has to sit out there like an idiot with a lame duck coach if you're right about this? I'm like mad on behalf of Titans fans for what they're about to do.
I think the problem though is a lot of teams hire offensive head coaches based on reputation and their trees, right? Like what tree. And you find out, and this is where you probably don't know, because I think everyone now sells themselves really well, right? They've got agents who help them prep. But I think what you don't know is, how does this guy operate when everything is on his plate? Like O'Connell's done a good job there, right? But how many guys have we seen who they get that and they're overwhelmed? And it feels to me like developing the quarterback's your most important thing, but the head coach has to be in charge of everything else, including when guys have problems or, there's just so many things. And the Titans it feels like Callahan's probably a really effective play caller. I don't know that he's a good head coach.
Yeah, I think you're probably right about that. All right, AJ, what's your third
Write this down.
and final prediction?
Coming off the news that disrupted Get Up this morning for 2 full segments.
It was literally like they zoomed in on Greeny as if it was like, we have major breaking NFL news. Like, whoa, did Patrick Mahomes like get hit by a bus? What happened? No, Joe Flacco is not going to play. Oh, okay.
Oh, got it.
Get hit by a bus.
Well, on the back of that, not getting hit by a bus, but in terms of write this down, Dillon Gabriel will commit multiple turnovers on Sunday against the Vikings. I think he's going to turn to the sideline and say, Toto, I don't think we're in Oregon anymore. Like, this is Brian Flores. He's going to put those little heels together. He's going to wish that he wasn't in London.
That was deep.
Thanks.
That
was really deep.
Crying for Dan Lanning is what he's
Write this down.
I have a similar spirited prediction about
Write this down.
Dillon Gabriel. So you went turnovers. I'm going to go sacks. I feel like the Vikings, like the fact that Grenard only has 1, Dallas Turner has 1, which, he hasn't been like a sack monster to this point in his career. Van Ginkel hasn't played. It's time to get to a quarterback here. And I'm sure the Browns are going to try to do some quick game stuff, but Brian Flores is so great against inexperienced quarterbacks. It's got to be so hard. That's why I'm kind of surprised that they're doing this overseas against that defensive front. All right, kid, here's your first ever NFL start, and it's against maybe the most confusing defense to decipher. And obviously, if you're Goff or Stafford or Aaron Rodgers, you make it look a little easy to dissect that defense because you have a better chance of knowing what you're looking at. So I think this feels like a decision made above Kevin Stefanski's head, which is what happens all the time in Cleveland, and it's going to come back to bite them. So my prediction is the Vikings will sack Dillon Gabriel at least 4 times in this game. And I'm going to parlay this. So I want it to be a touchdown. And they will either intercept a pass or force a fumble of Dillon Gabriel. So like a strip sack, or they'll poke a ball out, or he'll throw an interception in addition to the 4 sacks. Write it down.
Does the fumble have to be recovered by the Vikings?
No, not for this. Unless you guys think I need to say that for it to be a touchdown. But I was like,
No,
4
I think you've
sacks,
gone.
a ball on the ground.
Yeah, you've gone far enough.
Okay.
I've had quite enough of you. Yes, that's good.
Thank you.
Write this down.
So
write it down. You like writing things down.
There's your write that down predictions, the accountability session. I feel like we should do the quarterback cesspool challenge first, and then I think we'll have some time left over. I'd love to show you at least one play from. Maybe we can make this a Wednesday feature where we pull up a fun play from the trenches episodes and just kind of the 3 of us can go through it. But so AJ has the envelope in hand that Declan gave him.
This is unbelievable.
Let me pop this up on the screen here. The quarterback cesspool challenge. If you're new to this, we celebrate bad quarterback play in the NFL every week. At least we look for it. We hunt for it. Each member of the show picks a quarterback, drafts a quarterback each week that we think is going to be bad. Once you draft that quarterback, you can't use him again the rest of the year. So when you unload the Spencer Rattler pick, that's it. You don't get to pick Spencer Rattler, whose teams are 0-10 when he starts. You don't get to pick him again. So you got to be strategic. And the scoring is based on ESPN's QBR, which is a 0 to 100 scale, 100 being perfect, 0 being terrible. And last week, you'll see that the worst quarterback in the league was Joe Flacco, which is why he's being benched for Dillon Gabriel. He had a 12.6 QBR. I took my 3rd weekly victory of the season by selecting Jake Browning, who had a 27.8 QBR. Judd, you took Jackson Dart, 44.1, which is below average. And this is where the controversy comes in, because so Declan's on paternity leave for at least chunks of each week, and AJ is making the picks on the show. So we kind of told you guys, hey, figure it out however you want, but you'll combine. Like AJ will make the pick, but obviously it's Declan's organization here that he's running, his quarterback cesspool challenge team. So Declan told AJ unilaterally he wanted Trevor Lawrence, who posted a 66.3 QBR in a win, by the way, a big road win over San Francisco. And AJ said, let it be known that if I were picking on behalf of this team, I would have selected Bryce Young, who had a 43.6 QBR.
Not good enough for a win. So, it's not good enough for the weekly win, but it is better than 66.3.
You're a good sport right there, H. You're a good sport. I'd be pissed. Like, you were right, he was wrong.
And I'm curious to see, I think we should make it a weekly thing now where, like, Dex has given you an envelope, a sealed envelope, so you can't apparently doctor it. But I think we should get your on-the-record pick, what you would have done, or if it aligns. But on the season, so I have 3 weekly wins. Declan has 1. Judd's still looking for his first weekly win. And then I lead the average QBR season standings, 26.0. Judd, just a tick above average, 50.2. And Declan, 53.7 average QBR. And for the YouTube audience, I'll just pop up. These are the quarterbacks that we have picked so far through 4 weeks. For the audio audience, we'll talk you through any controversies here. So I think, based on last week's standing, if we go reverse order, that means that Declan and AJ get the first pick, Judd gets the second pick, and then I draft third. So, AJ,
I got a quick question though.
Yeah,
First of all, when was the exchange made here where you actually have a sealed envelope that you have not looked in yet?
This was at our Podregs live event this past weekend.
Okay.
I was helping Pat and Paul Black take down some stuff. This was Declan kind of moseys on over, hands me this envelope. I'm like, what's going on? He goes, you just wait till Wednesday. You open this up on Wednesday. QB Cesspool. I said, all right. I stuck in my backpack. I've been tempted, but I haven't opened it yet. So this will be
okay. I have a question too, and maybe we'll have to open it to answer this, but he wouldn't have known the draft order at noon, because that would have been like noon or maybe 2:00 on Sunday, and I think there were still games to be played, right? Or
Yeah.
yeah, like the Trevor Lawrence thing
Jake
was like
Browning.
that was like a late game. Jake Browning was
It
a
was Monday.
Monday game.
Yeah.
So did he know? Now, obviously, you guys have the number 1 overall pick, but did he prep 3 names? I'm curious. Let's open. Oh, you guys are on the clock here, so
Yeah,
you may as well open up the envelope and see.
Let's open it up and let's see.
And
what
the
we got.
nominees and the nominees are Jake Browning. No, we can't take Jake Browning. All right.
Phil, can you make it so our pictures are bigger for a second?
Oh yeah, I'll put you full screen here. There you go.
Carson Wentz, no matter what.
Jeez.
Wow. Okay, so who would you take? AJ, if we're up to you, who would you take? Because I think it's obvious.
So he's drafting Carson Wentz. What if he was picking 3rd though? Because Carson Wentz is on my big board.
I think there's a little trust there where he's like, if we're getting first, I want my guy. Otherwise, you go ahead and let it go. I mean, I feel like the standout pick here is Dillon Gabriel. Given today's
It is.
But I'm gonna go with what's on the paper. And
He wrote that before the Dillon Gabriel news came down too, right? He wrote that on Sunday.
But that's why you should allow. That's why in AJ, I would have trusted to be like, hey, you're going to be there. We don't know who's going to be starting for all of the teams, especially some of the bad ones. So like, I feel like he's taking the right game, but he's taking the wrong quarterback. Give me Dillon Gabriel.
This is like draft day if Sonny Weaver Jr. just had a confidant who just wanted whatever he wanted. This is like if the owner gave it to you're drafting who I want you to draft.
Yeah, well, that happens ironically in Cleveland all the time. So in the movies and in real life. So right now the first 2 picks off the board are just the 2 quarterbacks playing each other in London.
Yes. And by the way, I heard a stat this morning driving in. Rookie quarterbacks against Brian Flores' defenses are 1-9.
Yeah. It's such a puzzling, rash decision here. It's based on emotion. All right, well, I got the last pick, so I can sort of talk through the rest of the names on the big board. I will say Dillon Gabriel was number 1 on my big board. Carson Wentz was also on the big board against Myles Garrett. The other 4 I have written down are Cooper Rush. Looks like he's going to start in place of Lamar Jackson against the Texans. The problem is, if I select Cooper Rush and he doesn't play, the rules of the quarterback cesspool challenge are you get his backup, which means I would get Lamar Jackson in this game. And I don't want, like, if Lamar's going to play, I do not want to pick Lamar Jackson because even on a bad hamstring, he'll figure out. Geno Smith at the Colts feels like a fun interception-filled opportunity.
Fun's one word for it.
I would say Bo Nix.
Is there a chance Lamar plays? I thought it was like confirmed at least 2 weeks he's missing.
I thought this morning they were saying, let's see here. Maybe you're right. Let's see.
I thought it was like it's at least 2, but it could be like 5 weeks for him.
It says he's unlikely to play against the Texans right now.
Yeah.
And he could be sidelined multiple games.
Remember
could miss 2 to 3 weeks.
Before last season?
Yeah.
Flying to Germany.
Roll the dice. I mean, you can roll the dice, but it won't come out till Friday.
I also have CJ Stroud at the Ravens, even though I know the Ravens are the worst defense in the league, but I feel like at some point they're gonna tighten the defense up and someone's gonna fall victim to it. So, but that'd be risky. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do Cooper Rush against this might be the only shot to take Cooper Rush. So I'll take Cooper Rush against the Texans.
All right.
To round out the session. Carson Wentz, no matter what. A bold play by Hater Declan.
And Declan cost himself because, again, if Declan was sitting here today producing the show, Dillon Gabriel, right, like comes down the pike, you're like, oh, man, give me that. So I feel really good. So I would like to thank Declan for handing you an envelope on Sunday based on his hatred for a fellow man in Carson Wentz.
I think here's a bold take for you guys. I think he still takes Carson Wentz with the number 1 pick, even if he knew about the Dillon Gabriel news.
Yeah,
I still think he takes Carson Wentz. His hatred. Jug, can you talk about Padrigs here while I bring up one of the plays from that Steelers game? Can take a look at.
I absolutely can. And as AJ mentioned, we were at Padres on Sunday for a Ventline Vikings viewing party and then for people to vent after the loss. And that's just one thing that Padres offers. A great tap room there located in the old Land Nod factory at the corner of Broadway and Central Avenues Northeast. But just as importantly to sports data is the fact that Padres makes delicious beer. You know why? Because it tastes like beer. Nothing funny. They're not trying to get cute. They are sticking to the meat and potatoes of beers, and they are doing a great job. Try their Red Chimney Red Ale. It's absolutely fantastic. In fact, Sports Dad enjoyed one during the show on Sunday. He needed it after watching the Vikings loss. Their beer is available in more than 200 liquor stores in the Metro, Rochester, and Mankato. Find them on Facebook or Instagram and check out their website at Padres.com. Padres.com. Pat and Jason do an absolutely great job, and their beer, as we all can attest, is fantastic.
Love it. Love it. Let me pop this up here. So this was the first sack of the 6, and I'm going to actually go full screen here for you guys. And if you want like a way better breakdown than I'm going to give you here, Alex Boone took us through like 50 minutes of film on the Purple Daily Trenches episode that dropped on the feeds this morning. It's very video centric. So if you're an Apple or Spotify listener, check out the YouTube channel for that. But when you saw this live, my first instinct was, what is the offensive line doing here? Especially like Brian O'Neill, man. This is early in the game. Vikings are driving. How does that happen? Where Carson Wentz drops back and there's just a free runner. Patrick Queen winds up twisting in for that sack. And then I'll run it for you guys again from the end zone cam here.
Okay.
Vikings are at like the 15-yard line, trying to punch it in for a touchdown. And Carson Wentz is looking off to his left while Patrick Queen is about to destroy him.
Oh, wow.
But if you take a look here, who do you see in the middle of the field already with his palms up, which would be a fine on the O-line committee? That's Justin. That's the best wide receiver in the world right now, streaking across the middle of the field. I'm going to slow this down so you can kind of see the reaction.
You know,
so Wentz gets destroyed. Jefferson is perplexed throughout this entire sequence. Why am I not getting the football in this spot?
This just looks like Declan QB Cesspool propaganda. Like, this just reinforces his pick for this week.
Yeah, I mean, this would, if Declan was on the show today, he would be a lot more confident after watching this. But hold on, that's not the only answer to the test. Because I think, by the way, I think this is a touchdown if he hits Jefferson. If not, it's like Jefferson catches it, cuts immediately upfield, maybe gets tackled by one of these guys, or he slips because it's
Croke Park.
Slips at the 10.
Yeah. But you'll notice Jordan Mason leaking out because Patrick Queen is blitzing on this play. So Mason leaks out. So there are two answers to this test. And Carson Wentz is not looking at either one of them. And I'd be curious what, Kevin O'Connell would say about this, but the reaction of both of these guys, I mean, Jordan Mason is jumping in the air with his hands on his helmet while Justin Jefferson has the palms up over here. What are we doing? And that tells me that those guys know that based on the defensive look and the protection, even if there's a free running blitzer, those are two great answers to this test that could have been touchdowns. Instead, the Vikings settle for a field goal.
Is that Addison who he's staring down?
Yeah, who's the primary target here?
He definitely was staring him down because he never looks either way. I think it's Addison. I think he's running right about the 11 right there.
Yeah, so this is Addison up here just for
the
audience.
So he's trying to get him a touchdown catch because he was
coming across.
I think he was aware of my write that down prediction, and so he's because he wouldn't do that for Declan. He hates him, so he would like me. But is this the play on which then they showed before Fox went to break or before NFL Network went to break that Jefferson was in McCarthy's ear? Is this the play?
Yeah. I think so.
Okay. Because he was hot. He's not usually hot. He was hot about that.
And then, so what happened here with the offensive line? Shout out again, Alex Boone, knowing what he's talking about. So you see the Steelers are running with kind of I don't know if you call this like an overload or just an over front, where you've got 3 down linemen all to the left of the Vikings right guard in Will Fries. Mm-hmm. So in a situation like this, and even like I don't know if Boone would say that 41 is a threat on this, but even with just the 3 down linemen, you're going to slide this protection left, starting with your right guard, because 95 is lining up in the A gap. If 95 is lining up in the B gap over here, you probably actually have Will Fries and Brian O'Neill working in tandem, and maybe some chip help from Jordan Mason. But you'll see when this plays out, and this is brilliant by the Steelers. The Steelers are putting 3 down linemen all to the left of Will Fries, specifically to give Patrick Queen and TJ Watt a ton of space to work against a running back and one soloed up, really good right tackle in this spot. So you see, like the Vikings, like all these guys, this is great. You're washing these guys out. You're sliding to the left. This is very clean over here. And you're getting some chip help from Jordan Mason. What happens is Patrick Queen kind of sneakily, number 6, kind of sneakily moves around TJ Watt in a spot here. And Jordan Mason leaking out. If you're Carson Wentz, you know that Jordan Mason's leaking out. So once you see Patrick Queen kind of sliding around TJ Watt, it is your job to throw hot to one of your options, because they are sending more guys than you can pick up. So people are like, what's Brian O'Neill doing? Well, Brian O'Neill is blocking a Hall of Famer. So he's doing his job on this play. He can't block 2 guys. So you can either keep Jordan Mason in, or you can send him out wide open as an option to gain a big chunk of yards, which is, again, a correct answer to this test. This is also a correct answer to the test, according to, again, people smarter than me. And so some of the other sacks are purely on the offensive line. But this is one of those where you saw the frustration on the sideline with Justin Jefferson, and that's why.
But look at how locked in Wentz is too, though. Like look at watch his head. His head never moves. So like if he was aware, which I'm sure he was, of the options, he never even considers them. And and despite the fact that it's front end pressure, like he does not clearly see Queen. So like this is again the problem.
He kind of glances to the right here briefly, and I think he sees Queen move from here over to here, and thinks that he's either not a threat or is covering Jordan Mason coming out of the backfield. And by the way, credit the Steelers had some really creative blitzes in this game and some creative twists. This is a really good veteran linebacker hiding his intentions until the very last second. Yeah. But even then, it's like Carson at this point looks like he just dismisses everything that's happening over here out of hand.
He does, yes.
Can you go to the further out view? Where is TJ Hawkinson here? Because I refuse to believe that Jordan Addison is the only person that he's considering on this throw.
Yeah. Sure. So another thing that's happening here is you'll see. So it's trips left. Hawk is lined up on the inside. Addison is here, and then Justin Jefferson is on the outside. So again, this is not everything Kevin O'Connell has done is perfect, but this is a brilliantly schemed route. Justin Jefferson working from the outside of this formation across over here, putting his defender essentially in a washing machine of 2 of his own guys and 2 Vikings receivers here. So watch, I know you asked about Hawkinson, but watch Justin Jefferson and the defender that's assigned to him here, this cornerback, and the play concept here. It looks like it's designed for Jefferson to essentially work his way through traffic wide open. Look at this. So he cuts right across. So this number 5 here is defending him, and he's got to work his way through here, and he's got to play catch up. This is like, why don't they throw more slants? Why don't they throw more quick hitting passes and slants? What do you call that?
Yeah, well, but here's the problem. We've got, and there's probably 20 cases, but there's been a few that have like this that have been on film or seen live. Here's the problem. O'Connell's designed a lot of great plays. He literally has quarterbacks that can't execute them. So what do you do then? Like that the McCarthy overthrow of Naylor against the Falcons was a marvelous design.
Yeah.
They just couldn't execute it.
This also is a marvelous design.
Yeah.
Again, I don't know that we're ever going to get Kevin like fully on the record on this because he's not looking to throw Wentz under the bus publicly. But this has two wide open answers. And I know sometimes like we're watching football games and we're only focused, and I was in the moment too, we're only focused on this right here, which is why are the Vikings allowing a free runner in Patrick Queen to tee off on Carson Wentz? And in the NFL, oftentimes that's by design, not to like actually get your quarterback decapitated, but let's let this guy run free or know that he's potentially running free.
Right.
Because we've got he's supposed to be covering Jordan Mason and he's not. So that's one. And then the design of that trips concept to the left. So this is just one play of many. I could show you a few others, and Boone did for almost an hour this morning that are like total offensive line meltdowns where Blake Brandel is struggling and other guys, Michael Juergens, first year center. So I still think offensive line is the biggest problem through the first few weeks, but your quarterback has to figure this out. Has to figure this out.
So two things off of this. One is, I think you're going to have to. I think in reality, because of this play, like this play scares me because that dude's head does not move like that. Like this is not he almost saw him. He literally doesn't see a guy right in front of him. So I think what you're going to have to do, especially against Myles Garrett in Cleveland, I think you're not going to have the luxury of probably leaking Mason out there in this case. I think you got to stay on the chip.
I mean, but he is chipping on this play.
But I mean, I think you got to.
You can chip unless you're talking like go literally max protect on all your dropbacks, where you're keeping everyone in.
I'm saying in this case, O'Neill's going to pick up the correct guy. As this breaks down, you've got to have an answer. If you're O'Connell, unfortunately, unless you think that Carson Wentz is going to find God between last Sunday and this one, you need this. If Mason stays in and takes the block, so yes, Max protects him because Jefferson is still open then. So like that's my problem with this is Kevin O'Connell's designing fine plays. They're really good plays. But Carson Wentz, and this is where Team Declan is right, Carson Wentz just flat out can't do this. Yeah. And I don't know why, but he can't.
Yeah, man, Jefferson, he was hot. He's not a throw teammates under the bus kind of a guy.
No, he's not.
He was.
And you know what?
Jordan Mason was hot after that. They both knew.
Well, Justin Jefferson being hot, though, to me, was an indicator that Wentz had screwed up because Jefferson's not Moss or Carter, where it's like, I didn't get the ball, so I'm pissed. Like, how many times have we seen in Justin's time here since 2020, how many times have we seen him caught on camera? Like, he gets mad himself sometimes, but like, you could tell he's visibly pissed. It's been, I would say, a handful tops, maybe less.
It feels like, it feels like his frustration is less about why aren't I catching passes and more about why aren't we making the winning play in this situation? That's what that felt like. That there is an answer to this. The winning play here was probably a touchdown. If not, like you're inside the 5-yard line and you're ready to rock and roll. And instead, it's a field goal. Yep. And now you're all right. Now you're in point chasing mode. So, anywho, just wanted to bring that up. There's way more where that came from, and Boone does a 10 times better job than I ever could of explaining this stuff. So check it out, and you can find him on the O-line committee. Also, the OG edition of Write That Down on the Mackey and Judd podcast and Score North YouTube channel. Tons of Judd's hockey show. If you're a Wild fan, Kirill Kaprizov just signed an absurdly large contract, the largest in NHL history. So there's a couple episodes of Judd's hockey show on the feeds that you can find in the last 24 hours. So for age, filling in admirably, not even close to Justin's school level there, I would say. You were much higher level play.
You know what
Carson
you were?
Wentz, no matter what.
You were not allowed to call plays. Declan is literally on the sideline with the thing on trips right, 87 left. Carson
Run it again. Run again.
Amazing.
Disappointing.
All right, Paige, we'll see if you can land this plane here because I'm not confident in myself. But this is Purple Daily, 365 days a year of Vikings takes, and we just want one Super Bowl before we die. See you guys.